Hello guys and welcome back to our YouTube channel Infinity Learning. So in the last lecture we have discussed the source coding part of the subject. Now today's topic of discussion will start from channel modeling. Now what is channel modeling? Channel modeling is nothing but it is the mapping of inputs, that is inlets, and outputs, that is outlets, via a transfer function. So we can consider the inlets, that is the inputs, as x1, x2, x3 up to xn. So there will be n number of inlets, and the outputs are the outlets, that is y1, y2, y3 up to ym. So there are m number of outlets. So there are transfer function p y by x, that is the probability, conditional probability of y and x. So this is the basic idea of channel modeling. Now this p of y by x is a matrix, is generally a matrix and can be defined as the given format. So p of y by x can be generally represented as a matrix, and as you can see that it will be an n cross m matrix. So it will have n rows and m columns. So it can be defined as, in the first row there will be p of y1 by x1, second element is p of y2 by x1 dot p of ym by x1. So the first row can be defined as p of yi by x1. So the constant term will be the denominator part, that is the x1. In the second row there will be y1 by x2, p of y2 by x2, p of y3 by x2 up to p of ym by x2. Similarly, in the third row, p of y1 by x3, p of y2 by x3, p of y3 by x3 dot p of ym by x3. So you can make an observation from here that in the row wise observation, the constant term will be the denominator part, that the x, and in the column wise study we can see that the numerator, that is the y part, is y term is constant. So from this observation we can say that the number of outputs will be the number of columns and the number of inputs will be the number of rows. Now the number of outputs can be denoted by small m and the number of inputs can be denoted by small n. So this p of y by x, which we can treat as a transfer function, is known as channel matrix or transition matrix or transition probability matrix. So this was the basic idea of channel modeling. Now channel modeling has some properties too related with their probability values. So the first property is, that's the basic property of probability, that summation over j pj y by x will be equal to 1. That's very simple and the basic idea of the probability part. And there's a general sense of understanding, like the probability of the whole input px matrix can be represented as matrix of px1, px2, px3 dot up to pxn. Similarly, the matrix for the probability of outputs, that is py matrix, will be represented as matrix of p1, py1, py2, py3 up to pym. So we can design it as a control system where the input is px and the output is py, and there is a transfer function py by x. So this is a very common simple first order control system. Now the second property is matrix of p of xd, that is a diagonal matrix, is equal to matrix of px1, then everything will be 0, then 0 px2 0 0 0 up to n, it will continue, and here in the last row there will be all the terms will be 0 except for the last term, that will be pxn. So basically the diagonal elements will have the value px1, px2, px as matrix of pxt into matrix of py by x. So it is derived from the idea that we know that output is equal to transfer function into input. So output is py, transfer function is py by x, and input is. Now the next topic is channel capacity. So channel capacity can be defined as the upper tight bound on the rate at which information can be reliably transmitted over a communication channel. In other words, it is the maximum average mutual information in any single use of channel where maximization is over all possible input probabilities. So channel capacity is nothing but the maximum amount of rate at which the information can be transmitted over a communication channel. So from the definition we can say that capacity C is equal to maximum of P xj I x comma y. So from this definition we can get the formula as C is equal to maximum of P xj summation j0 to q minus 1 summation I0 r minus 1 pxj into pyi by xj into log pyi by xj divided by pyi. So this is the formula in terms of probability, but there is another formula which can be defined as C is equal to log of b0 base 2, where b0 is the number of bits. It can be the number of bits generated or it can be the number of bits received. So the next topic of discussion will be types of channel, where we will discuss the channel's capacity, its identification, and we will see that each channel will have a particular type of transition matrix. So the first type of channel is lossless channel. So how can we identify that it will be a lossless channel? So the channel matrix py by x will contain only one non-zero element in each column. So this is an example of lossless channel transition matrix. So py by x is equal to, in the first column, 1 by 6 0 0, second column 5 by 6 0 0, third column 0 1 by 4 0, fourth column 0 0 1. So we can see that in every column there is only one non-zero value. So this type of transition matrix will define a lossless channel. So as I have told you that the number of columns will be the number of outputs and the number of rows will be the number of inputs. So as there are 3 rows, there will be 3 inputs x1, x2 and x3, and as there are 4 columns, so there will be 4 outputs y1, y2, y3 and y4. So we can make a mapping of the inputs and outputs, that is x and y. So we will write this inlets as x1, x2, x3 and near them y1, y2, y3 and y4. So now in the matrix we can see that x1 and y1 are connected by a straight line with a weight of 1 by 6. So x1 and y1 are connected and its weight is 1 by 6. Again x1 and y2 are connected with weight 5 by 6. So x1 and y2 are connected with line weight 5 by 6. Now x2 and y3 are connected with 1 by 4. So x2 and y3 are connected and the weight is 1 by 4. And at the last x3 and y4 are connected with value 1. So x3 and y4 are connected with value 1. So here what we can see that for 2 outputs there is only one input. So we can say that there is an overlapping of the inlets, overlapping of inputs. So the lossless channel will have the overlapping of inputs. Now its channel capacity will be denoted by C, which will be equal to log of m base 2. So here m will be the number of bits, data bits that will be generated. So this is the basic concept of the lossless channel. Now the second type of channel is the deterministic channel. So how can we identify that it is a deterministic channel? The channel matrix will contain only one non-zero element in each row. Remind that for lossless channel there will be only one non-zero element in each column, but for deterministic channel there will be one non-zero element in each row. So an example of the transition matrix of this type of channel will be Py by X is equal to, in the first row 1 0 0, second row 1 0 0, third row 0 1 0, fourth row 0 0 1. So there are 4 rows and 3 columns. So there will be 4 inputs x1, x2, x3, x4 and 3 outputs y1, y2 and y3. So again we will map the inlets and outlets. So we will get a mapping like this. X1 will be connected with y1, x2 is connected with y1, x3 is connected with y2 and x4 is connected with y3. All have the weightage 1. So here what we can see that for one in output there is 2 inputs. So in other words we can say that there is only one output for 2 inputs. So we see an overlapping of the outputs, the outlets. In deterministic channel there will be overlapping of outputs. So you can make a comparative study of the two channels, the lossless and the deterministic, as for the lossless there will be a non-zero element in each column, but for deterministic channel there will be a non-zero value in each row, and for lossless channel there will be input overlapping, and for deterministic channel there will be output overlapping. So you can make a comparative study and this will be easy to remember. So the capacity of the deterministic channel will be defined as log of n base 2, where n is the number of received data bits. Again you can make another point for the comparison. The lossless channel have the capacity of log of generated data bits, but the deterministic channel have the capacity of log of received data bits. Now the next channel is the noiseless channel. So what is a noiseless channel? It is a channel which have both the characteristics of the lossless channel and the deterministic channel. So there will be only one non-zero element in a single row and column. So this is an example of the transition matrix for noiseless channel. Py by X equal to 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 and 0 0 0 1. So there is only a single non-zero element in a row and a column, similar for all the elements. So there are 4 rows, so 4 inputs, and 4 columns, so 4 outputs. So if we map the inlets and outlets of this channel, we can see that there is 1-to-1 mapping, that is for one input there is one particular output. So there is no overlapping of the inputs, neither the outputs. So the capacity of the noiseless channel can be defined as C is equal to log of m or log of n base 2, where m is equal to n, as there is 1-to-1 mapping, that is for one input there will be one output. So if there are n inputs there will be n outputs. So the number of bits generated and the number of bits received will be same. So if we take the log of any of the bits, it will give the capacity. So the last type of channel is the binary symmetric channel, or the BSC. So this channel is of wide application as it is very simple to implement. So generally people use this kind of channel, the BSC. So it wishes to send only one bit. It can be either 0 or 1. That is why it is very simple. It will transmit or receive one bit at a time. So its transition matrix can be defined as P 1 minus P, second row 1 minus P, P, or reversely 1 minus P, P, and second row P and 1 minus P. Now what is P? P is the probability of 1, and from the basic knowledge 1 minus P is the complement of 1, so it will be the probability of 0. So there will be, so here there will also be a mapping of the inlets and outlets, but it can be of a different kind. Now we will have two parts, the X encoder, that is the input part, and the Y decoder, that is the output part. So the input will have two values 0 and 1, and the output will also have two values 0 and 1. So there can be a case that 0 is transmitted to 0, there is no change, or 0 is transmitted to 1, so there is a change. Similarly 1 will also have two outcomes, 0 and 1. So the weightage will be from 0 to 0 it will be 1 minus P, from 0 to 1 it will be P, and from 1 to 0 it will be P, and from 1 to 1 it will be 1 minus P. So what we can see from the mapping, that if there is change of state, the weightage is P, that is the probability of 1, and if there is no change of state, that is 0 to 0 and 1 to 1, the weightage will be 1 minus P. So we can define this channel as P of y equal to 0, x equal to 0 equal to 1 minus P, P y0 and x1 equal to P, P y1 x0 equal to P, and P y1 x1 equal to 1 minus P. So this is the definition of the PSC. Here the capacity of the channel will be 1 minus HB of P, where HB of P is the binary entropy function. So this was the basic concept of the channel modeling and the channel capacity. Hope you guys liked today's video. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more this kind of videos. And thank you for watching the video. I hope we will meet in the next video. Thanks.